I don't expect it to be a Sandy Alcantara. His last 2 starts haven't been good. And they're just not that top name out there that is better than what they could have. But if they were going to bring someone in, I mean, Seth Lugo, he's got a player option for 2026. He's had a good year at 2.67 ERA, 4.55 expected ERA. Zach Little from the Rays. Andrew Heaney is an interesting option. And Michael Soroka is an interesting option. I think out of that group of the second tier type of pitchers, Michael Soroka has the best stuff that has the highest upside. But I do think that the focus really needs to be in the reliever market and to add another bat. So my ranking of the relievers, number 1 is David Bednar. So David Bednar, from what I was told today by the Pirates insider I was telling you about, is that it is likely that David Bednar is going to be traded. That David Bednar is certainly someone that the Pirates are going to try to trade. And that's the biggest difference between some of these guys. Like, a lot of these guys, it's okay, let's wait up till the deadline, let's see what we have. Bednar, they're already putting in the work, from what I was told, into exploring the trade possibility for him. And if you look at David Bednar, here's the boxes that he checks. 1, he is under control for 1 more year, just like it was with Michael Kopech last season. He's making $5.9 million in 2025. He's arbitration eligible through 2026. He had a down year in 2024. He started the year in AAA this season. A couple weeks after that, he was back in the big leagues, and he was great. I mean, since mid-April, Bednar has gone 28 2/3 innings, and he's posted a 1.88 ERA. He has a 36.6% strikeout rate and a 6.3% walk rate. So an elite strikeout rate, really good walk rate, under team control for 1 more season after this year, and the Pirates are looking to trade him. So Bednar is right at the top when it comes to relievers for me, along with Duran of the Twins. The difference between Bednar with the Pirates and Duran with the Twins is Duran has more years of team control, 2 versus the 1 from next year for Bednar, and his prospect capital cost is just going to be higher because Bednar did have that downward little slump that he had in 2024. So it costs you more to get Duran than it will to get Bednar, but Bednar is certainly an extremely viable option that I really, really hope the Dodgers go after. He really fits the bill. Explosive stuff, high-powered fastball, can dominate hitters, would certainly replace whatever you were missing with the injury to Evan Phillips, and then he's a backup plan if you don't get Blake Trinan fully healthy and he can't go for whatever reason, and same thing goes with Michael Kopech. He is an insurance policy and a replacement for Evan Phillips and an insurance policy for Trinan and Kopech, and even down the line with Brusdar Gratterall. Then after that, we've talked about Aroldis Chapman. Chapman has had an explosive year. He's on an expiring contract. The Red Sox, the big question with the Red Sox is, will they trade? Will they be sellers at the deadline? Right now, they're 5.5 games back in the division, and in the wild card, they're sitting in a pretty good spot where you're right in that mix, right? You're right in that wild card mix in your league. So I don't think that they're right now going to trade Aroldis Chapman. I don't think that Jarren Duran makes a lot of sense for the Dodgers, if I'm being completely honest. I think he's a little overrated for whatever reason by Dodgers fans. If you truly look at his numbers and the fact he's a negative defender and the fact that he's under multiple years of team control, that's just not a guy that, if you followed this team for years, that Andrew Friedman, this front office, goes after. That's just kind of not how they do business, especially during the season. I mean, I don't waste too much time talking about guys that I just don't think are going to be realistic options. So we talked about Will Castro, we talked about Bednar, we talked about Duran, we talked about Chapman. Then there's a couple other names like Ryan Helsley. Ryan Helsley is another guy that's a fireballer on an expiring contract. The Cardinals right now, 6 games back in their division. Yes, there's still time to make up ground there, and they're a game and a half out of the wild card spot. So will they be sellers? That remains to be seen. Then after that, you got a name that I think is a lot more realistic, and that is Kyle Finnegan. So Kyle Finnegan is a name that I can tell you last year the Dodgers were very interested in, and that they did have talks with the Nationals about making a trade for him. That's how interested they were. He's on expiring contract. He will be a free agent after this season. He doesn't have overpowering stuff like some of the other closers that we've talked about, guys that go out there and dominate you with a particular pitch, whether it be a fastball, splitter, or whatever it may be. But he's a guy that gets the job done. And he's actually put up really, really good numbers as far as, a 2.43 ERA, that's a career best. The velocity, 96.1 on the heater, that's in the 79th percentile. But really, the strikeout rate is not one of those explosive ones. He has a 19.7% strikeout rate. That's in the 34th percentile. The whiff rate in the 21 percentile. So he's not that guy, but he does get the job done. And he does it with a four-seamer that he's able to just limit hard contact. That's just kind of what he does. So he's a name they were interested in, and he kind of fits with kind of more the Evan Phillips mold in the sense that you are taking advantage of some of your secondary stuff and you're using that four-seamer to kind of set it up. Because he throws a four-seamer over 66% of the time, but the way he sets up that splitter and that occasional slider, it kind of fits the bill with that one. Then other names to consider, Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia is a name that I'm going to continue mentioning until he's either traded or the Rangers decide they don't want to trade him. Because even though the production has declined this season, he still is hitting the ball hard. He's had his moments, and just look at the home run he hit in the walk-off home run he hit a few weeks ago. He still kind of brings that element, and he was really good in the playoffs a couple years ago. And I think with Adolis Garcia, the thing about him is he's not someone that you're going to have to absolutely gut your farm system and go get, but he has peripherals that will interest the Dodgers. For example, 81st percentile on hard hit percentage and barrel percentage, 93rd percentile on average exit velocity. Those are three things that the Dodgers front office looks at when they're acquiring a player. I can tell you that, right? That they look at that, and they don't care about the things that we care about as much, right? They're not going to say, oh, his batting average is this, his OPS is this. They care more about what they think they can do to that player to help them get the result that they want based on the contact that they have been getting versus the actual results that they put up. So Adolis Garcia I still find as an intriguing name and someone that the Dodgers could seriously consider. And then Cedric Mullins. So Cedric Mullins, I'm not out on per se, but if they're looking to add an outfielder that's going to play in center field, he's one of the few true center field options that could be available that's going to get dealt at the deadline. And from a contract standpoint, he makes sense. $8.725 million in 2025. He'll be a free agent after the season. He had a monster April, and he was good early in the year, but he's hit under 200 since then. He's been down to around league average in the last couple of years. So his bat doesn't really excite me that much. Could he be better, though, than what Miles Conforto is this year? He could. And then also what he brings to the table is he will play a premium position that I think what would that do is I think that would open it up where if you traded for Cedric Mullins, you would do it knowing that he was going to be your center fielder. And if he becomes your everyday center fielder, well, then you consider moving Mookie Betts off of shortstop to second base, and then you put Tommy Edman to the shortstop spot. And I think ultimately that is what the Dodgers should do. So I don't love the idea of Cedric Mullins. I'd rather have Ramon Laureano, who's had a much better year for them. He's hit the ball harder, plays outfield, and just has raked this season. But if that's your bag, that's what Mullins brings. But I'm not the biggest Cedric Mullins guy. I would have Laureano over him. But all right, guys, let's get into your comments on the 7th inning stretch.